I think that defines success. I wanted to start something big, and I've always been into theater. At the start, I was very nervous and like scared to do this. There's only like 3 dating shows on college campuses nationwide. So we were one of them, and we were the first in Texas. I'm trying to create a brand that is liked and that is respected. We shouldn't have any dating apps at all. I had a big final, I had a midterm that I was stressed about. I came to your show after, and all of that stress went away.
Did Cupid Dating help Evans with any sort of dating or not? Hello, guys, and welcome to another new episode of Sunday Talks. Today, I have with me our guest Evans Rama. He's a 19-year-old social wizard who has got millions of views on social media for his own startup. It's called Cupid Dating, and how he landed into this, how he become a social media wizard. We are gonna hear all of this from Evans. Evans, welcome to this podcast. The stage is all yours. Please introduce us to yourself, who you are, why you started this, and how you landed into this social media world, and let us know how this looked like.
Awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me. First off, Vaibhav. So my name is Evan Rama. I am a sophomore at the University of Texas at Austin in the Macomb School of Business. I am right now unspecified as a major, but I'm looking into marketing, management, international business. So I haven't really decided what I want to do, but I know I want to go into business. I grew up in Waco, Texas, which is a relatively, I would say, small town north of Austin. And I grew up there my whole life, and I wanted to come to a city where it was much larger and the community was much greater, especially from an Indian point of view. We didn't have that culture in Waco as much, and I wanted to experience that, and that is why I came to UT Austin. When I came to UT Austin, first week of school, I wanted to start something big, and I've always been into theater. This is how I got into social media and my startup. I was in theater for 6 years. I got a lot of lead roles throughout middle school and high school, and I wanted to transition that to some sort of startup idea. So, combining my love for theater and my innovation skills, I created an entertainment platform where we are trying to alter how entertainment is brought on college campuses. And now we host live college dating shows in front of 500 plus audience members, all these students, and we've expanded to 8 universities. And from a social media perspective, I've always wanted to dive into that. I started a consulting page in high school where I did some social media. It didn't do too well, and I wanted to give it another shot, so that's why I jumped into that.
So you were always this kind of someone who is always willing to do something, who is always on a hunt for to do something, who is always unsatisfied with, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. Always has been that kind of personality, or something specific changed you, or is there something you would like to share that put your interest into this?
Yeah, so I have honestly been into startups ever since 8th grade. And I would say I've been pretty innovative and into the business world since 2nd grade. I had a small business project we were working on in 2nd grade where we were just selling chocolate bars. So it started from that, very small, small scaled. And all the way up to 8th grade, I had a tutoring business. I was trying to build this nonprofit organization where we help students with education and getting those resources towards them. So I've always been into the startups and building things. I'm not really the type of person who likes to jump on board in a structured business already. And that's why I've only interned for startups at this point. I love working at the starting point and building it up and seeing how the business progresses. So yeah.
Wonderful. I think that is one of the similarity. I guess I feel you have same it with just like me, because I do love working with small startups. Where you have free hand to work around
Right.
different things, and you can literally excel at whatever you want, whatever you can, and then the happiness of bringing the out the results. I think I can see that you have that in you as well. Perfect. Now, when I went through your LinkedIn, I found out there is something called as Rama Entertainment. So, can you tell me what that is and then how it, come to the life?
Definitely. So Rama Entertainment, and I'll go back into the story. I'm a sophomore, so first week of my freshman year, I came to this school with, I would say, one connection. I knew one person at the school that came from my high school, so I didn't know anyone. And to get my name out there, instead of joining all these competitive business orgs, I wanted to take a different route. So I started marketing I wanted to start my own organization on campus, and that's what it is. It's called Rama Entertainment. So we're a UT affiliated organization. And I wanted to take my own route. I wanted to have my own organization rather than joining onto someone else's. So it took 7 months to get this approved. In the meantime, while we were waiting for approval, I started marketing the organization and just trying to get the name out there as much as possible. So when we host our events, we already have all of these consumers who are ready to watch our shows. So I built this org, and what we do is we host all of these super cool entertainment events. We do pop-up events, dating shows. We recently got into the podcast world, so that's why I'm glad I'm doing this with you right now. Um, we are also trying to dive into game shows and shift how entertainment is on campus.
Wow, wonderful. So, Cupid Dating is a part of Rama Entertainment, or that is a separate entity at all?
So Cupid Dating, technically we fall under Rama Entertainment. And a big reason why Rama Entertainment even exists is because we needed to get a venue. And the only way to get a venue on campus is to be a UT org. So we we made the org to get the venue, and now we are applying for an LLC. We're trying to get that sorted out so we can be an official business. And once that happens, we will eventually close down Rama Entertainment and just zone in and focus on expanding Cupid Dating as a whole.
So when I look at my graduation years and everything, uh, I do feel that there are definitely some people who are interested into building something and these kind of stuff, but there is a majority of people who are not. They are just interested in doing the everyday studies and then maybe
Right.
basic activities. Uh, but then when this 2 3 people who are willing to do, they also get surprised, maybe university does not support them enough. So did you also face similar challenges, and then how did you overcome those? Or as you mentioned, it took 7 months to get this organization approved, so I believe you might have faced some challenges in during the process. First challenge itself is how to get it approved, how to create an organization. That is a whole thing you need to learn, right? So how did
Right.
this journey went actually?
Right. So I won't lie, it's very difficult, and the amount of people who doubted the idea from the start or disliked the idea from the start was overwhelming. And if you don't have that entrepreneurial mind or that mindset to want to build something from scratch, that hate and feedback from others, negative feedback from others, will eventually crash your business. So you have to just ignore it. And I would say that's the number one component. We received a lot of hate and people disliking the idea from the start. And I still wanted to build it and see where we could go with it. So that was problem number one. Problem number two was the actual org being approved. And we actually got denied twice before being approved. We got denied in December and then January. And we had some issues with the Constitution, and then some regulations that we had to get sorted out. So those two issues were huge. And another big issue that people don't really emphasize enough is how important marketing is, especially for an organization or a business. And we took a different marketing approach for ours. I dressed up in a costume, a clown costume, and I would go around campus scaring people. No one knew who I was, and I would just try to get the name out there in a different way rather than tabling on our street where you just go up to people and give them flyers. It's very boring, simple, and it doesn't get the word out there like we did. So those are the three hardest things for any startup, and a lot of people quit first year. I think this is a statistic, and you can fact check me on this. First year, 50% of startups crash, or 90%. It was one of those numbers. But
Mhm.
marketing, the hate and feedback you get, and then the actual structure and getting it approved. Those were the three most difficult things, but we got over it.
Yep. And then I think you mentioned that you dress up as a maybe some sort of character, and then you went to the
Right,
people, right? Uh,
right,
and I can totally get it that it takes courage to be in out in the streets, sitting in a cabin, and then sending out maybe email, running an ad is much more easier. But going out, facing the people, facing the heat coming out of people is definitely difficult. So
right.
my question to now you is that how much does courage plays a role in this complete process? Because uh, I have always learned this one thing, that it's all about your appetite. Uh,
Right.
you have to keep it growing. You have to, take that heat and eventually increase your appetite of people blaming you. And I think the politicians has the best appetite in the world, because we see them,
Mm.
people are blaming them every day. They are like, like you can get it right. They are
Right.
literally
They still get
facing
over
the
it.
heat. Yeah, they never end. It's never ending for them. So what did or how did courage you brought come you get that courage to do something like that, and how do you see this playing a role in your journey so far?
So I would say, like, the first week or few weeks of marketing this, I was very scared. And even going into the costume, marketing it, I wasn't comfortable. I was worried what people would think once they found out who I was, or I was even nervous if people would just ignore it or make comments. So at the start, I was very nervous and like scared to do this. But over time, after I saw the results, and if you keep pushing through it, you will see results for anything in life. I saw that we were getting into newspapers very easily. We were in every Snapchat story. We were in every message, every article on campus. So everyone was knowing about us pretty fast. And this was in the first few weeks. So if you stick to something, you'll see the results. And I had that mindset going through it, even through the hate. And I would say that comes from my family and my family background, my parents especially. They came from nothing basically, and they came from another country to the United States. So they came with nothing, and now I'm looking at them trying to reach their success point. They have gone like this over time. It's very crazy what they've done. So I would say courage comes from that, and just believing in yourself and knowing if you stick with your idea and if you truly believe in your idea, the results will come.
Wonderful. And then I think one particular thing that I wanted to ask you is that why dating? Is it is it like, is this category has been chosen because it's very popular and maybe easy to crack? Because all people, like almost everyone, is dating around. They're looking for something, and then it's easy to bring traction. But so, what is your take on this? Like, why you choose this one particular category? Is there any reason behind it? And I always, like, we all know that, right? What seems
Right.
easy is always hard at the back. So I would like to see understand both the side, like why you choose this, and then now, since you're doing this for a while, what is the hard things you have faced so far while doing this particular dating shows and everything?
Definitely. So dating. So first week of college, I don't know if I still have the list, but I got a document on pages and I just jotted down hundreds of business ideas. What can I go into? And dating was one of them that was written down. And I knew the market that I was putting myself into. I'm in a college campus, and college is peak dating life. Everyone's trying to get into a relationship or talk with other people, even at parties. So I knew this market was golden for my time these next 4 years. So I jumped into the dating platform because of that. I knew how easy it was to scale and how easy it is to get the word out. So I jumped into it because of that. When it comes to, I guess, the marketing side of it, everything's difficult, but I would say honestly, it was pretty easy to market this idea just because of how many students see, oh, there's a dating show on campus. There's never a dating show on campus. I looked up a statistic, or I guess I did my research. There's only like three dating shows on college campuses nationwide. So we were one of them, and we were the first in Texas, which means
Wow.
marketing is very easy for that. And first show, we saw the results, 450 students showed up, and we knew from that point what we can do and what power we had going into this.
Mhm. Wonderful. And then also another question that I ask follow to that is that it seems easy, but then there is also hardship that comes with that, right? So what is
Right.
the hardship that you see because of this category itself?
So I would say the biggest thing, and since we are on a college campus, you're gonna get hate for anything you do, but we're not really dating isn't perceived as a professional business. Even dating apps, people don't see it as, oh, this is a corporation, a structured professional business, right? We're doing dating shows. So I guess getting people to take it seriously was a very big issue at the start. And I'm trying to create a brand that is liked and that is respected. Dating isn't respected. So I would say getting around that's the hardest thing. And we're still working on it right now. We're trying to shift our content and shift how the dating world is perceived. So I guess dating as like a whole market is just very difficult to get people to like and take seriously.
And for a fact, I know that one of the two, three dating apps, out of which one, which is very well known, which is Bumble, is
Right.
based out of Austin,
Right.
founded out of Austin. So do that, face or as you like that occurs as a threat to you or is a challenge to you by any extent because uh, we all are going digital. Almost everyone is using smartphone, laptops, and everything, right? So what is the difference between maybe a dating app versus a dating show that maybe you wanna tell people that hey, while there are apps there, but this is the difference that you see in the live shows. So
Right.
anything on this?
So I'll start with this. I truly believe that we shouldn't have any dating apps at all. I think in-person interactions and meeting people in real life is so important and can create genuine connections. And it even limits, it protects us. It's a safety hazard to be on these apps as well. Um, so I believe that, and I will say this, that a lot of relationships are formed through dating apps and a lot of successful relationships are formed through dating apps, but I feel like real in-person interaction, you can see their personality and how they look and if you're truly attracted to them straight on. So what we do is completely different from dating apps. Dating apps, swipe right, swipe left. Oh, do you like their face? Most people don't understand. A lot of people don't read the bio or whatever you have included in your profile. They look at the face. That's what they're looking at. And personality is so important in any relationship. We want to shift that. And that's why we do blind dating shows where it's all personality first. You prioritize personality and then you reveal yourself after, and then you could see their face. So you can decide, do you want to go on with the date or not based on their personality and based on their looks instead of just their looks. Um, and a lot of men, I read this statistic, I forgot where, but a lot of men, 99% of men get 1 to 5 likes on dating apps every month. Girls get over 99 plus per month. And it's an attraction thing. So we want to really emphasize personality, and that's what stands us out from any dating apps out there.
Yeah, I think one point I really like to highlight, and I think maybe our generations are not talking that much about, and that is the problem with online dating, or it's occurring because of online dating, or maybe online chats is ghosting.
Right,
I
right,
think ghosting is
right,
the worst
100%.
thing because it just not like it completely damages you. Is what I feel. Uh, and I can totally resonate that we are kind of losing that in-person contact, and I can totally relate with myself as well. Then in earlier days, I used to have a lot of friends which I personally go meet and have chats and everything. But
Right.
now it's since majorly online. I think nobody really cares these days, right? It's that if you are not meeting in person, if you don't have the touch, it's very hard to trust people as well. Uh, so
Very
yeah, I
true.
think that is a great pain point that you have found out. So definitely kudos on that, and I think that is a great, quality of a founder that they found out a great pain point which usually a lot of people miss out. And since you mentioned there is only three major dating shows in the entire US, I think that's definitely a good market to tap into. So now
Right.
moving, yeah, you want to add something?
I was just going to say three major college dating shows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but still, US has a lot of universities, and if it just has three, I think the market is definitely it's a big market. Uh,
Definitely.
so now I guess since you have mentioned that you know how you started, where you landed, you mentioned that you faced initial difficulties with forming this up. Uh, did you did do this alone, or you know what I wanted to understand here is that you know how did people help you in some way, because when we talk about the bad side, you know there was difficulties which you faced. I think there is also good side where you know some people might have helped you,
Right.
because I see there are people in your reels which I feel like you know they are maybe your bros or somewhere who help you. So can you like to give them a quick shout out and you know how they help you?
Definitely. So for the first 5 months, I was alone on this project. And then right when we hit February, before our first show, we got a lot of requests wanting to join the team and help out with the shows. And I'll give credit. We have a big team now. We've had over 200 applicants. We have a solid team of 15 at the moment. And without them, these shows wouldn't exist. And I want to give a special shout out specifically to Gisela. Gisela is, I mean, without her, this last show that we had and this show that we have coming up on November 15th, they wouldn't be happening. And what she's done for these, even from a production side, truly incredible. Our quality of content has gone up. The number of RSVPs saves we get on these events have gone up, and it's all because of her. So 1000% credit to her. And then I also want to give credit to the team itself. We have CAOs, COOs, operation members, we have production members, we have team members that help with the actual shows. So without them, it's a team effort. Without any of them, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I want to give special shout out to them.
Perfect. Wow. So now I think social media is what I feel is your biggest marketing channel, is what I have seen. Majorly TikTok, Instagram, and then I think you also do on YouTube, I guess, right? Uh,
Yes.
so how you thought of this, when you thought of this, what was your business age at that point? Like, you know, you thought of this maybe at the third month, fifth month that, hey, let me start creating some sort of videos. But then no, some sort of videos is what kind of video? So how did you figure out this journey and then made it into a successful campaign, which resulted into millions of views and as you mentioned, more than 200 plus signups as the employees to be the part of this thing. So yeah, give me just idea on this particular part.
So so the idea came up in September of last year. From September to March, we had no content, no social media. So we were basically just marketing in person and word of mouth. So we had no real marketing strategy when it comes to social medias. That's when one of my team members stated that we should have a social media and that we should do interviews. And I thought that was genius. After doing the first one, we got 40,000 views on our first ever video. That was really motivating and it pushed us to keep producing more. We saw real traction with these interview videos in the summer at UT orientation. We were interviewing incoming freshmen, and that's when it really took off. We had a video get 900,000 views, 800,000 views, a few 100,000 view videos. So that aspect of interviews has really like, that's our identity right now. And it's a great identity to have people connect street interviews at UT to our platform. So that's definitely a good thing. And credit to Natalie Tran. She's a big influencer and she goes to UT Austin. And big credit to Ari and Gaddy. He's an influencer at UMich. Them two have given me a lot of advice and have sat down with me for a few hours and just discuss how social media works, even from how to get over hate and hate comments, just the whole social media route. So I appreciate them for that. Them too, and the interviews have really structured our platform.
Got it. So it's all about experiment, or you just started with within the mind that I want to start with the interview videos, or this is something that you figured out along with making maybe making few videos initially, and then so what was the strategy there, or did you follow someone? Uh,
So our route was a little different and I would say unusual. We posted 3 videos prior to our first interview video, and those 3 videos were from the live shows. So it was poorly edited because it was my first time editing a video. It was poorly edited. It was the quality of filming was decent to okay. It wasn't anything special since we only had one person running around the whole auditorium. Um, so the quality of work wasn't there. We weren't getting the views, and that's when one of the team members brought up that we should do interviews. So after doing a few at first, we saw that we were getting over 10,000 follower or 10,000 views pretty consistently. And since we were so consistent with the views, I was thinking that we should just wait it out, keep producing, mass produce these interview videos to see until we get one that blows up. And with social media, all you need is one video to really get into the algorithm. So that was our goal. And we did it in the summer, 800,000 views. And ever since that, all of our TikToks, all of our Instagram interview videos get over 40,000 views pretty consistently.
wow, wonderful. So now since you have set up the social media path, you still do similar kind of videos, or now the strategy has changed a bit? So what I mean to understand is there a strategical angle in terms of creating videos now since you are more matured in terms of social media? And why I'm asking this is because a lot of business I see, they just create videos, and if it works, they keep on working on the same kind of videos and they will keep on working on that. But then I think there is also a point of saturation where you have to upgrade yourself, you have to experiment different stuff. So the whole motive of this question is to understand where you are right now. Did you reach that saturation point right now or yet? And then is there any experiment you have done so far or not?
So we, ever since I onboarded Gisela, who has been helping me with 50% of all Cupid dating work, ever since we brought her on the team, our content has really shifted for the better. And what our brand is trying to do, we're trying to get our content to be more like Updating, which is a dating platform for adults. They do live shows all over the world. So we're trying to really replicate what they're doing. And we want most of our Instagram reels, TikTok reels, YouTube shorts to be from our live shows. We want those videos to be short form contents from our live shows rather than just interviews or all these fun little bits. So we've started to edit those and we're getting very close to uploading those, but we're still in the experimenting process. We've slowed down on the interviews and we're doing more, I guess, creative works when it comes to marketing. We're doing speed dating events. We're doing jump scaring promotion. We're just experimenting with all of these forms until one hits in the meantime. And once we get those show content uploaded and edited, that's when we can see if this is going to work or not. And if it doesn't, we might go back to interviews. We really don't know. We're still experimenting. We just want to really zone in and target on what's going to work for our brand.
Got it. Now, I think since you have mentioned that you recently onboarded someone who is looking after 50% of your current company, and then whatever this stuff is, and then there are more people involved in this. I think team management is a skill that you need to have in this complete thing, right? So being a 19-year-old just in UT right now, how you are managing your team? Because I feel that a lot of big startups do fail because of poor team management. So
Right.
since you are new, what are the things or strategies you are doing right now to make everything in a shape? Uh, just give me some idea on this.
Definitely. So a big thing with businesses, especially at the startup level, is most communication is done via online, phone calls, text messages, Slack. We use these different platforms, and I think those are really good resources to use as a backup plan. I think we should prioritize in-person meetings and scheduling a few hours block for everyone to meet in a conference room. And that's what we've done, minus the conference room part. We've really had one meeting per month for the whole team. You have to show up, it's mandatory. And we sit down for an hour, hour and a half, and just brain dump ideas, discuss future shows, and get everything sorted out and organized. And our next meeting is this week, it's on Wednesday. And we do this before every live show. Our live show is November 15th, and we have a meeting before the live show the week before. And this really helps in person because everyone's required to communicate. You can't just look at the text, ignore it, read it, you might forget, right? So this gets everyone engaged, everyone involved, and I feel that's really good for team communication and team building. You have to speak your opinion.
Got it. And then how you are you funded right now? If you're not funded right now, how do you manage finances? And then if anyone if any member is not getting paid, what is their motivation? Why they are doing or why they are part of Cupid dating so like right now?
Definitely. So as for funding, before Gisela came on the team, everything was out of my pocket. And UT's been generous to help with certain expenses when it comes to our live shows. But there's not too much that we have to pay for when it comes to content. It's more of the live shows. And Gisela has been a big help with funding. She's really invested in this and she's given a lot back to Cupid. So she's really a main source at the moment. She's been helping us with equipment, giveaway items, etc. And like I said, there's not too many expenses, but and a big reason of that is because we get a lot of free giveaway items and just various items to give away to students from these local businesses and these other corporations. They help us out a lot. So those are two big reasons, or two big things that are helping us get through until we get funding. And when it comes to the team, so no team members getting paid. We do pay our filmer who helps with content, but all the team's not getting paid. And a big reason why is because we just don't have the money right now. And we've scaled to 4 figures, but everything's being reinvested. And we told all the members that. So why they're still on the team, even if they're not getting paid, it's a big resume booster. We're a pretty established corporation and we've expanded to 8 universities in 4 months. So they're sticking with the process and the vision in hopes that we expand all over the nation eventually. So they're here for the long run rather than the short run. And I think that's a big reason. We also give them a lot of opportunities, internship opportunities, shadowing opportunities, and a lot of collaboration. So that's another big reason that helps with their applications for applying to grad school or even jobs in the future.
Got it. Wow, that sounds like a master plan. But did you had any master plan, or this is something that things happen as you moved ahead, or how what like? So what I mean to ask basically is, what is the economics of this entire business? Because I do know that you have recently started onboarding people to promote their businesses in these dating shows. So, what is this particular, economics of this particular business looks like? Because if there is no economics, it's just an entertainment show, right? So it
Right.
needs to have some sort of investment, promotion, revenue, and some sort of monetization
Right.
happening.
Definitely. So right now we're waiting for the content to be monetized, and there's certain requirements you have to meet to get to become monetized. So we're waiting on that before we can call that a real source of income. In the meantime, we have a slide pitch deck that we present to clients, and we have these clients reach out to us. We don't do any cold emailing, cold calling. They reach out to us just from seeing our content. And we have this package deal that offers, we have a $200 package deal, $400 package deal, and $800 package dollar deal. And with each of these packages, we will market your business on our big screens in front of 500 students. You will be seen by over 800 students from the live streams. You will have a free video posted on our social medias that will be seen by thousands of students. And we ensure for certain apps, if you're an app, as a business, we ensure true user downloads, and we get that done at the actual live shows. So these businesses are basically paying, I like to say they're paying for ad space in person.
Got it. And then if you have to number a count of, how much amount of students you can influence right now, given that you have into 8 universities, I guess. So what does number translate into? Is it into 1,000 or like 100,000? What does number?
So the great thing about us is we do our marketing for very cheap here in the United States compared to other businesses. And students are a very big market to hit. They will download your app if you give them something in exchange, a donut. They'll download your app. Rather, well, as like, adults, they're less likely to download if you give them a
Yeah.
donut or something in exchange. So if you buy the $800 package, that's all 8 universities you get free marketing at. And each university, we're in the process of getting their first live shows fully produced. So you're basically paying $800 for the whole September to May term for marketing. And our show gets about 800 live impressions, I would say, per show. These other universities, they're in the marketing process. They're going to get a minimum of 200 impressions, live impressions. And then that's not even accounting for social media. So total, I would say in person, you would be getting around 2,500 students, 3,000 student impressions for $800. And then social media, you're getting hundreds of thousands of students seeing it.
Got it. Ooh, that sounds like a big milestone that you are achieving at this particular age. And then how, I don't know if I should ask this question or not, but then how does your family feel about this, you building something like this? Are they okay with it? Or are they feeling that, like, since if you are in India, here in
Right.
India is if you are a student, you should study and not do anything else. Uh,
Right.
so
Right.
are your parents cool about this? What is the case?
So at first, they didn't really see too much of our content or how established we were on campus. So at first, they weren't really too fond of the idea. They wanted me to focus more on my academics and getting a corporate job and just being financially stable, which makes 100% sense. But after they saw our numbers and the amount of people who really knew what Cupid dating was, we were getting recognized in Houston on the street. I would walk down in downtown Austin and I would have people come up to me who would recognize me. Once they saw all of that, they knew that there could be something out of this. Um, and at the moment, it's short-term money. We're not getting too much, but they're really, I guess, supportive of this idea as long as I, maintain a certain GPA, still get that corporate job, still get internships, but they're now happy that I'm doing something that I love and, that I'm really passionate about.
Wow, wonderful. So I can say that maybe in future you have two investors already with you. Uh,
Definitely. They've already invested in me. They've already
oh,
invested in me,
nice.
even without like not counting, I guess, anything financially. They've invested their time and different resources that they've provided me. So kudos to them for sure.
I think this is what I like about you, Evans, is that, the realization of like, how parents support. I think not
Right.
a lot of people recognize that, and you being just 19 and recognizing these things, I think this is really great. And this one particular short clip, I guess, will also change a lot of people's perception that, it's not just about monetary investment, it's a lot of about emotional investment and everything
Right.
else, I guess. So
Right. And
great.
we don't I'd like to add this. We don't care at the moment about the money. We want to make an impact, and that's why our biggest statement and the sentence that I start when someone asks me what Cupid dating is, we want to change entertainment. We want to entertain people. We want to make people happy. And I feel we've accomplished that to an extent already. We're getting DMs every single week after shows saying, I had a big final, I had a midterm that I was stressed about. I came to your show after, and all of that stress went away. So those comments really influence us to keep going.
Yeah, definitely it is, I guess. And then I guess a lot of businesses also struggle expanding themselves, right? And then you are already into 8 universities, and I think now you must be getting a lot of invitations to join this university and that university after seeing your success in maybe just UT Austin or then another these universities, right? So, just give me a brief idea about how this happened. Like, did you outreach someone for the university, or they approached you some, like, someone approached you directly, or how this process went actually?
So the first person to he DM'd us over the summer after seeing some of our content. His name's Akshan, and he's from UTD. He's a sophomore at UTD. He's also in the production world. He has his own production club that he's working on right now. He reached out to me wanting advice on how to start his own dating show on campus. And instead of competing with them, we're already established. We know what we're doing. He knows what he's doing in the production world. Let's just bring Cupid Dating to another university. And he was all hands on deck for that. After that happened, we posted something on our social medias saying we're at two universities now. We're at UTD and we're at UT Austin. And right after that came out, A&M, we got students from A&M that DM'd us. Rutgers University, Illinois. We had some schools in California, Northeastern, all of these other Texas schools. So it was a chain reaction. After one school was on board, and another school came on board.
Wow. Wonderful. So now how do you feel about this, your entire pursuit, what you have, started, and then now you see there is some light of hope going further, since you're also onboarding few, like, you are on a route to monetize this stuff now. How do you feel about this entire effort that was made?
I'll say I have no regrets in doing this, even with the hate that we've gotten. And you're going to get hate with whatever you do, especially with students, and especially being brown and doing something like this. It's unusual. It's weird because it's not really professional. So even with the hate that we've gotten, I have no regrets. I love what I do. And with the hate, we get love as well. So that keeps me going. I try to ignore the hate and keep going with the love. But a very simple answer is I'm very happy with it. If this decides to be a short-term business, Cupid Dating, we have another business we're working on at the moment, and we're hoping to launch that in September. So even if this comes from nothing, we have the, I guess, knowledge, experience, and I've met a lot of people on the way doing this. So those experiences alone, 100% will not trade it.
Oof, I think that was a lot of information, Evans. Great insights. Now I went through your social media, and just like likes and comments, I do see some sort of, I won't call it as hate, but some sort of heat coming out of people, and that was specific to why you are just hosting Indian specific dating shows. So would you like to give us some insight on that?
Definitely. And this, hopefully this clears it up for people, but we aren't a brown dating show. We are open to all ethnicities, all races, all people. And I guess people think it's a brown dating show because most of our content is brown related, which makes sense. I don't blame anyone. But the only reason we do brown content is because that's what goes viral. That's what gets our name out there. And we're trying to reach as many people as possible. So at the moment, we were marketing towards just brown people using brown questions, to see how many people we can reach. But we're a show for all the people. Any students can join our shows if you want. But I mean, a big reason we were getting hate was because we only do brown content, and I guess people were getting annoyed from that.
Okay, so I guess now if anyone has that kind of doubt right now, they get clarity on this, that you are open to anything and everything. So even if someone is watching and if they are concerned that hey, you are hosting a brown dating show, that's not true. They are hosting anyone and everyone. You can bring them to your university as well to host this kind of show, irrespective of whether you're brown or white, whatever it might be. So thank you, Evans, for answering that. I think so. What you're doing right now is reminds me of someone who is definitely great into social media world, and we all know him, Mark Zuckerberg. Why?
Mm.
Because he also come up with the thought of connecting people within the universities, and we all know his stories, right? Uh, I think you are also on a similar path with different angle in mind. And I do wish that you reach that level where Meta is at the moment right now, or maybe grow even beyond that. Uh, so if I have to summarize your entire journey, and if you have any learnings to share in total after looking your total journey so far, what are the few key things that you would like to share with anyone who is starting out a business or thinking to start out a business? Uh, just maybe 4 or 5 points, or whatever, how many points, whatever you feel comfortable sharing with.
Right. Number one biggest thing in starting anything is you have to truly believe in your idea before you start building it. If you don't believe in it, you're not going to be passionate about it. You're going to be lazy and you're not going to put 110% effort into building that business. So that's point number one. Point number two, and this I would probably say is the most important point, you have to ignore people. And while it's good to get feedback and listen to people that you respect and that respect you, there are going to be a lot of people that down your idea, dislike it, comment on your social media saying, this is stupid, this is a bad idea, why are you guys posting this? It's going to come with getting your name out there, and you just have to learn to ignore it or have it fuel you into building your business and proving them wrong. So, though that's definitely the most important point. And I guess point number three, when building any startup, it's great to find someone you trust. And for me, that was Gisela. And I didn't find her until August. But Gisela has taken a lot off my shoulders and she's reassured me in a lot of situations. She's a big reason Cupid it is what it is right now. So finding that person that you trust and that you can give certain tasks to and you know they'll get the job done is really, really important. And I mean, now we're friends, we're great friends. So business partners and we're great friends. So it was a two-in-one relationship, and I'm really happy about that. So those are the three biggest points I would say for if you're going to build any startup or any idea in general.
Wonderful. Now, since you're helping people with dating and everything, did Cupid Dating help Evans with any sort of dating or not? Or you haven't been that user as of um, the organizer has never been a user, or what is the case?
So I get that question a lot. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, Evan, you should." I've never been in a relationship, but everyone's telling me, "Oh, Evan, you should be on your own show. You should try to get in a relationship." And I will say, doing Cupid dating has gotten my name out there so much, and I've been in situations where I'm talking to someone or I genuinely appreciate someone or like that person, but nothing's gotten past that. But we'll see. I might be on one of my shows in the future.
Yeah, maybe you should do that when you have all universities with you, and that would be the mega show that you can host. But I think it's wonderful the way you are, pulling people together. When world is going digital, you are going offline. You're building something on offline, on the
Right.
ground. I think it does take a lot of courage to be there out, spoke about your startup, take that heat and everything, and you're doing all of that events. So we are at a very end of this particular podcast, uh, and there is a last segment that I would like to go ahead with, uh, and that is rapid fire.
Mm.
So what we do in this is basically I would ask you a few words. You just have to, in one word or max 2 words, you just have to describe it. Don't
Okay.
pull it too long. Just make it, crisp and clear. So,
Perfect.
favorite food.
Chocolate.
Perfect. Favorite dating show.
Favorite dating show? Updating.
Okay. Uh, home.
Waco.
Uh, finance.
Broke.
Okay. And then growth.
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know if I can describe that in one word. Growth, just believing in yourself. I think that's growth.
And success.
Success, relationships, keeping relationships. I think that defines success.
Family.
The Rock.
Wonderful. Wow. So I think these are the few words I just wanted to ask, because I think that gives me a lot of understanding of whom I'm talking to, because it just, gives you some sort of idea. And I can definitely, out of this podcast, I can definitely tell you that, you are one of the pure soul in the heart. That what I can sense. Uh, and I think you
I
should
appreciate
keep doing what you're doing. As you mentioned, I really like your approach that I'm not hungry for the funds, monetization, or any part of that, and just do it. Basically, I think, yeah, even if it did help someone, build one another relationship for them, I think you have done great job. Uh, so kudos on what you are doing, Evans. Thank you
you.
so much to be here on our podcast today. Any final thoughts or something you would like to share before I conclude this episode?
Definitely watch this podcast. Vaibhav is a great person. His work is really incredible, and you can learn a lot from just listening weekly on these podcasts.
Perfect, Evans. Thank you so much, Evans. So, guys, this is Evans Rama for us today. He has shared his entire journey with us, his learning with us, and how he built Cupid Dating. If you are out of any universities out there, and if you haven't not, if you don't host any of such shows, reach out to Evans and host it in your university. Along with that, if you want to be part of the shows, I think you can just take visit the Instagram and DM them, and
Right,
just know more
right.
about it. But thank you so much for joining us today in this podcast. If you haven't liked our channel yet, do like this video and subscribe to our channel. See you. Bye bye in next video.